Yeah, what up? I just wanted to talk about this situation with Katt Williams going off on the Mexican dude and talk about the comments that coming from Mexicans. You know, go back to Africa, all this racist bullshit that Mexicans have been long known for engaging in. Now, as far as, I just want to establish a few things and make a few things clear. That you can't tell no African to go back to Africa. The only people who can tell other people to go back to where they came from is African people. African people was in this country first, was in the so-called Western Hemisphere first, was in all continents first, before anybody else. I hear people talking about the Aztecs and all this shit. They were not first. The first people here were the Olmecs. And as you can clearly see, these Olmecs were African people. They try to take credit away from Africans, talking about they don't know who they were. West Africans. Not only that, their culture came from the Nile Valley culture. Nubia and what they call Nubia and Egypt. You understand? In the Ethiopian area. Nile Valley culture. Ancient Nile Valley culture. You can see the headdress worn, and let's make it clear, and for motherfuckers who might be dumb, the ancient so-called Egyptians and of course the Nubians were exactly the same race. They were all pure Africans. Don't come talking no bullshit to me about anything else, because I got a lot more evidence than what I'm going to show you in this video. You know, it's like me shooting a 22 millimeter at your ass, knowing I got some cannons. You know, I'm just trying to get you to fire back. So don't even fuck around, because I can bring too much evidence to show that the Egyptians were African, pure-blooded African people. You know what I mean? You don't want to do battle. Like I said, you can see the headdress similarities. You can see the style of prayer, the similarities. When you look at the so-called Mayan calendar, that's not a Mayan calendar. That is a Nile Valley calendar, so-called Egyptian calendar, Nubian calendar. In the center, you see that deity with his tongue sticking out. That is Bes, which is an ancient Egyptian, Nubian, Nile Valley god, one of the oldest gods of Africa. Don't get it twisted. Not only that, you can see Bes even travel to West Africa. Here you see the child of Obatala from the Yorubas of West Africa. He was a part of the Orisha gods. You see both with the tongue sticking out, and you can see on their neck the skull, the exact same skull. These are the child of Obatala was an offspring of Bes. It is a different version of Bes. The Bes was a god that was known around the ancient world, worldwide, and that knowledge and culture came over here to the Americas, just like pyramid building came over here to the Americas. You got the pyramids down there in Mexico that are also aligned with Orion's belt, just like you see in Nubia and in Egypt. I mean, you motherfuckers ain't got nothing but talk when you talk about these Olmec heads so-called being Mexican, these Africans. If these people would have come into human flesh today, the Mexicans would be, hey, mira mayate, chinga mayate. You know what I mean? Y'all wouldn't be calling them no Mexicans, y'all would be calling them niggas. Understand? So let's not get it fucked up. We was the first ones over here. African people. On all continents. You know what I mean? And I can prove everything I'm saying. I'm just showing you a little sample of the evidence that's available out here. So y'all need to understand that y'all came from mainly the Spanish, who came from Europe. And before them, there was over here so-called Indians. These people were the so-called Malaysians, or what was also considered Indians. But they came from Asia, and they mixed with the Africans here. And many of the Africans were enslaved here. They did not bring all of the Africans over to enslave. They enslaved many of the Africans that they found here. Here you can see the cornrows of the Olmecs. Cornrows. When have Mexicans been known to rock cornrows? This is uniquely an African hairstyle. And if anybody else rocking cornrows, it's because they got it from Africans. I mean, let's get real. So, as far as, there is no black-brown unity. I've made that clear. There is no black-brown unity. And I'm not going to jump on any black man who jump on some Mexican who piss him off for whatever reason. I just don't give a fuck. That's just the way I am. That's their business. Let them do what they want to do. But I'm saying that can't nobody tell us to go back to Africa. When you talk about indigenous people, you talking about Africans, no matter where you at. Where you at. We was in all continents before anybody else. We was on this planet before anybody else. Can't nobody tell us to go back nowhere. We the only ones who can tell you to go back. And if we tell you to go back to anywhere, we telling you to go back somewhere where we still indigenous at. So let's get real. I mean, realistically, we can just tell y'all to vanish out of existence. To go back to being African. To being black like you were originally. You know what I mean? Mitochondrial DNA will always be subject to mutation after a period of time. And that's the only reason other so-called races are in existence in this world today. I mean, I see these comments, nigga this, blackie that, and all this shit. I mean, you motherfuckers, and these same people claim to believe in God. Well, understand that when God, or if you religious God or nature, created human beings, God never created no Mexican, never created no white person. God only created black people, dark skin. As much as you might hate to hear that, this is the fact that even all respected historians, scientists, agree and have established, this is even mainstream knowledge. We all know this. All of the original humans on this planet were black. So how can you possibly, remotely, try to insult or degrade that which is directly descended from God, or from nature, or from the Creator? Direct descendants from the Creator. I mean, the nerve, the audacity for you to even think of doing such a thing is beyond foolish on your part. I don't care what the fuck you is, Mexican, white, you foolish. Any of you who've ever tried to insult the racial identity of the people directly descended from the Creator are fools. Understand, for all you Christians, those who believe in the Bible, keeping this fact in mind, understand that your book says, let us make man in our image. And that man came out African or black. So, how dare you? You understand? This is the people. This is God's people. I don't give a fuck how y'all take it. Y'all gonna have to respect it as such. This is God's people. So you don't no motherfucker tell us to go back nowhere. I don't give a fuck where you at. I don't give a fuck if you're in Europe. You can't tell no African to go back to Africa. Because the black man was in Europe first as well. All continents. The only original people anywhere were black. Nobody is indigenous nowhere. Nowhere on this planet. You might be indigenous to some caves or some motherfucking hillside somewhere, because ain't nobody else want to live there. That's where y'all was sent to live after causing trouble. But we ain't gonna get into all that.